Dalhin ko sila, nakitago ko sila sa maleta.
Thank you. This guys. Thank you. Yan.
Okay?
Ikaw wait lang, Ken.
Sige. Eto na, another grueling days are coming because you have to, sabi mo nga, you have to get the engine going because malapit ka na umalis. So, dito, may pressure ka bang nararamdaman?
I will be honest, there is pressure. Both good and bad kind of pressure. But I always like to focus on the good things. The good kind of pressure is that I have so many supporters. I have so many people helping me to get there. And the very main purpose why I keep on doing all these, aside from helping our community, helping the solo parents, is to thank all those people who have never stopped believing. I think that when I win this world, it will be their win. It will be the biggest thank you that I can give back to them.
Okay, so saan ka magpo-focus this time sa preparations?
Preparation-wise, I think it's actually very challenging because for the very first time in the Miss World history, it's just going to be 40 candidates will be actually competing in the Miss World stage. Like, it will only be the top 40 who will be coming back to Puerto Rico. So I don't really know what their new plans are or what the new format will be, but I'll just prepare for anything. First of all, just really polish my communication skills. It's getting a little bit rusty, I would say. I'll have to get used to really talking to the public again and to have as much interviews as I can. Because again, the nerves can get to me sometimes, but it's just practice. And really setting the proper mindset that I'm speaking my truth and I can never say anything wrong when I'm speaking my truth.
Okay, since you have met all the candidates during your last year, so more or less ba, mas alam mo na what to expect and what to do?
Definitely yes. In my 4 weeks in Puerto Rico, the hardest was the first 2 weeks because I wasn't really sure of the things that I should be doing on a day-to-day basis. But right now, I've had the experience. I've met my co-candidates. Some of the girls in the top 40 I haven't really spoken with. By the way, we are always grouped into our groups. We have 4 or 5 groups and about 20 candidates per group. So most of the time, we are just within our group competing with each other. And even in the challenges, we only see each other most of the time during the rehearsals and the breakfast and lunch. So I think that it's helpful if I review everything that has happened in the time that we are in Puerto Rico. But definitely, I have my eyes on the strong candidates and I'll see where I could place myself, and at the same time, as I said earlier, focus on the things that I am very much capable of, and I'll keep doing me. I'll keep sharing only the truth and my honest self.
Okay, and so pagdating mo ng Puerto Rico, what are your plans?
In Puerto Rico, I actually left some of my things in Puerto Rico. The Filipino community there are very, very welcoming. They've helped me all throughout my journey. They always keep in touch with me and ask me if I need anything. So I'd like to do that as my first step. I will meet up with the Filipino community again if we will be allowed. If we are not really we're not really told to be in the bubble right away, then I would love to meet with them first and personally say my thank you and to touch up, to keep everything in private with them because of course it's different when you're in a new country. Like it could be difficult sometimes, but knowing that there are Filipinos there with me, it gives me that sense of home and sense of belongingness. So I really, really want to speak with them first. And I think it would be best if I can keep my bubble very, very small. Within the competition, it's very important that you only speak with the people you trust, and that is what I will keep doing. I have my team back there, and I will keep my communications with them open, and I tell them all my daily activities so that they can also help me out and do the planning.
Okay, what type of support do you get from the Filipino community?
There's a lot. Aside from mental and emotional support, they've been physically there to the airport. When I arrived, they were very welcoming to me, and we have our group chat actually. They always ask me what things I need, because in Puerto Rico when I got there, all my things weren't working. All my hair tools, all the things that I brought with me were not working because of the incompatibility in the voltage apparently. So I told them, and they brought me all the hair tools I need. They brought me adapters, and they always bring me Filipino food, and that's very, very important to me.
Ayun. So, sa tingin ko ba, it will be harder this time because 40 na lang kayo.
Will it be harder? I don't really think so. Because I think by now, the organization has already their eyes on certain candidates. I know that it is still not yet finished, but I'd like to think that my hard work from my time in Puerto Rico will not be in vain. They will be remembering everything that we've went through, every experience that we've had, and I think that I have a good advantage.
Oh, why?
Because I'd like to think that I've already proven myself. I've proven my character. When you're in a bubble and we're in a competition, especially in a competition that long where you see each other every single day, you work with the staff every single day. If you are not yourself, if you're faking being nice, or if you're not being yourself in general, they will know. And it actually really tests your character when you're in there. It tests your patience. It tests your flexibility in handling difficult situations. And I was able to get through all those and not lose my sense of self.
And how excited are you to be together again with your co-candidates, especially those who have made friends with?
I'm very excited. I still keep in touch with them. We still send messages from time to time. I'd like to do some video chats with them when we have the time to, especially with the time difference. But I'd like to catch up with them and see how they've been doing in the past weeks.
Are you preparing some pasalubong?
Some pasalubos. I brought them pasalubos the first time. This time, I will think of bringing them something from the Philippines.
Like what? Food or any?
So, the last time, I actually brought so many Filipino food with me, specifically dried mangoes, because that's the specialty from Cebu, from where I am. I also brought with me earrings that are made by the indigenous people in Mindanao. I visited Mindanao, I think it was months ago, for my Bayugan homecoming, if you guys can still remember it. I've arranged with the LGU that I bring with me handcrafted earrings from the single moms from the indigenous community in Bayugan. So this time, I would like to think of something else that still represents the Philippines in as much way. Possibly something that is also made with single moms themselves. So I'd like to again bring with me any way I can my cause, the things that I fight for.
Can you mention it for the Philippines?
Hello to all the Filipinos out there all over the world. I'm back here in the Philippines, and I'm back in the game. We will be making sure that we can get the engine going and to get back on track and to this time fulfill what we're there for, to bring back the crown to the Philippines.
At malapit na din ang Miss World Philippines.
Yes.
Oo, so how do you feel about that?
Mixed emotions, to be honest, because one, my reign with might be shorter. I guess they're planning to do the coronation sometime May, if I'm not mistaken. My reign is definitely shorter, but I like to think that if I win Miss World, then it's going to be longer. So, at the same time, I'm excited to see who's going to represent the country next. And I for one, I like to teach, I like to coach. So I like to share all my experiences in Puerto Rico and make sure that she has a smooth sailing ride when she comes to, when she completes herself. So I'm very much looking forward to meeting next.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Solar. Postponed twice. So sometimes I ask myself if natuloy yung coronation in another date, will I be the Miss World Philippines? So parang ina-apply ko the same principle now in Miss World.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, no?
Keep our fingers
Baka yun
crossed.
talaga yung destiny mo, no?
A little bit of delay para makapag-prepare ka mo.
So ang sabi nila lahat ng tanong, ano, the question is, nawalan ka ba ng gana at any point in time because of the delays and the difficulty before?
I'll be honest, yes. Definitely yes. I'm just human. I feel all different kinds of emotions, especially when faced with such a situation as that. But that is one of the things that I'm very proud of about myself. My capability to bounce back after every fall. Literally every fall. So, ngayon, even if I'm not yet there, I felt like that time I was already at my peak, my best. It was the best time for me to have snatched the crown back for our country. But maybe it wasn't right time. Maybe there is still something else that I could possibly do so I could be a better representative of our country. So again, just focusing on the good things. The postponement was not my control. It's out of my control and I cannot dwell on that forever. Just focus on the things that I can still do.
Focus on the crown.
Focus on the crowd and how to get the crowd.
Okay, how do you take care of your mental? I ask you this because of the recent events. What do you think of going
Learning when to stop, learning when to disconnect, and have your personal time with yourself and your prayers and with meditation, of course. Being in a busy world, taking care of so many things all at once, it can be overwhelming. I'm sure all of us can relate to that. So again, I always just listen to my body. When I'm tired and I feel like I'm about to break down, I always listen to myself and tell myself, okay, after rest. And of course, having your support system is very important. Constant communication with people you trust is very important.
Hindi na po yung situation yun, no? It's hard to be Miss Perfect all the time.
There's no Miss Perfect, so it's about time that we accept that we can never be perfect and that we should be okay with that. We just have to be real. We just have to be the best way that we can. And that's it already.
That's good to hear. Minsan pala, nanipigdan na rin.
Opo. Kaya nga, yung image ko talaga is, like, I'm a normal person. Like, I'm as normal as I come from very humble beginnings. Like, there were so many challenges that I had to go through so that I could be Miss World Philippines. And I'm very proud of all those things. And I always carry those with me. So now that I'm actually running Miss World Philippines, I don't forget who I am. So I still cry. I still commute even. I still try to find all the cheapest places to eat, cheapest places for everything. So I'm just a normal person, just like everyone else. And it's very important that you acknowledge that. Because with doing all those, you can never lose yourself. And that's very important in this time. Of course, favorite food. In Cebu, we call it Pongko. Pongko. Sit down, sit down. Opo. Yung sa mga gilid. Favorite food. Until now, fishball. Sa amin, chicharang bulaklak po yung I'm the same with me.
Okay, we'll be missing some of the girls, no? Kasi babalik sa Puerto Rico, wala naman ito.
40 lang instead of 20.
that is manageable. So, kung hindi Miss Rose, hindi mo makakabili.
Miss Tanisha. She's one of my closest friends. We already actually have plans of meeting up somewhere. And actually, she's a taekwondo athlete, national team in her country. So she actually has plans. I invited her to come here to the Philippines because apparently in taekwondo or being in a national team, they have that program where you can enroll in different schools all over the world and you can be absorbed by the national team. So I told her that why not try out for the Philippine team for taekwondo. And then I told her that I would look for the best schools that she can enroll to because she would really love to come and visit here in the Philippines and try out our educational system.
We wish you the best, Tracy. We wish you the best.
Thanks.
I won't wish you all the best, but I know you feel like that before at this point.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Look forward to March 16.
March 16. Huwag niyo pong kakalimutan, March 16.
And finally, you message to your fans, pasasalamat natin sa
Sa lahat po ng Filipino, sa lahat po ng pamilya and friends ko po, all over the world, especially sa Advocacy po, and also sa Bayugan. Daghang salamat sa ngayon ng mga support. Sa lahat po ng mundo ngayon. Mahirap pa ng buhay po natin tayo. Kahit hindi lang po natuloy yung Miss World, kailangan mo ako para sa mga lahat. And hopefully, hindi po kayo magsawa na sumabata sa akin and we continue praying for her. Our prayers will get more. Thank you so much.
haba ng laban mo.
Ang haba! Thank you.
Okay, may the best na lang.